we made mention of a tip or a shortcut of remembering, let's call it a tip, right? Of remembering the ratio of trigonometrical problems. Okay, so the tip was so ka toa. Okay, so ka toa. Now you realize that we have this 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So let's concentrate on the first one. On the first one, we have SOH, that is sine theta, is equal to O stands for what? Opposite, and the H is what? Hypotenuse. So we have like this, and like that. Now, the next one that we have is Ka, that is cos theta, is equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And the last one that we would like to talk about today is TOA, that is tan theta, is equal to opposite divided by adjacent. Is that okay? Now that we know this shortcut to the ratios, let's try to solve a question. And also we made mention of when you have a diagram like this, let's say this is A, B, and then C, and you are asked to find, this is theta, you have this place to be 3, 4, and this place is x. Okay, if you're asked to find the value of or the length of AC, in other words, if you're asked to find x, we made mention that the square of AB plus the square of BC should be equal to the square of what? AC. Now let's try to put this in practice. We are going to have the square of AB plus the square of BC should be equal to the square of AC. That is the Pythagoras theorem. So our AB is 3. So we have 3 squared plus BC. BC is 4. 4 squared should be equal to x, which is AC squared. Right? So 3 squared is 9 plus 4 squared is what? 16. And this will give us x squared. 9 plus 16 will give us 25. So we have x squared to be equal to 25. But we are looking for x. So we take square root of both sides, and we're going to have x is equal to square root of 25. And we know the square root of 25 is equal to what? 5. So therefore, our AC is equal to what? 5. In other words, you will be asked to find the other length using a ratio, maybe sine theta, cos theta, or tan theta. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. But before we do or we move on to that, let's learn about the special angles. When you say angles, we are going to learn about 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and then 60 degrees. When we have sine 30 degrees, what does it mean? Cos 30 and tan 30. Okay, so what are the values? Assuming we have a question whereby the theta assume any of these degrees, what does it represent? Since you are not going to use a calculator, you should know this offhand. So sine 30 is the same as 1 divided by 2. In other words, sine 30 is 0.5. Is that okay? So sine 45 is 1 divided by square root of 2. And sine 60 is equal to square root of 3 divided by 2. Now, sine and cos are opposites. When I say opposite, what I mean is sine 30 is equal to cos 60. Okay? And sine 60 is equal to cos 30. So if you are saying sine 60 is equal to cos 30, then you are going to have root 3 divided by 2. And sine 45 is the same in cos 45. So we are going to have 1 divided by root 2. And sine 30 is equal to cos 60. So we are going to have 1 divided by 2. And tan 30 is the same as 1 divided by root 3. And now let's share 1 divided by root 3 to 45 degrees and 60 degrees. 1 will be here, and root 3 will be there. Okay, this you should know this offhand so that you'll be able to solve any other question. Now let's try to solve some of the questions. So we have these questions and we are asked to find the length of AB. How do you find AB? First of all, there are things that you have to consider. You should know the name of all the parts. We know AB is the adjacent, BC is the opposite, and AC is the hypotenuse. BC is the opposite because the angle points toward this side. So it becomes what? The opposite. The length that is opposite the angle becomes what? The opposite. So that is why BC is the opposite. And we know we have AB to be adjacent. So we are going to go through our tip. This is the tip, right? We said we have SOHCAHTOA. So we are looking for any of these S, C, T. Which one is having opposite and adjacent? So we realize that it's only tan that is having opposite and adjacent. Then we have to use tan to solve for this particular question. So we're going to have tan theta is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent, right? That is the formula. Now, or that is the ratio. Now let's try to substitute what we have. So we have tan 30 degrees is equal to the opposite is what? 5 divided by x, which is the adjacent. Now let's find x. We do cross multiplication. We are going to have x times tan 30 degrees is equal to 5. And we divide both sides by what? Tan 30. And this side by tan 30. So at the end, this will cancel this, and we have x is equal to 5 divided by tan 30. But in our special angles, we said tan 30 is the same as what? 1 divided by root 3. So we are going to have x is equal to 5 divided by 1 divided by root 3. But we need to write this in a multiplication or simplest form. So we are going to turn this one upside down, and we are going to change it to multiplication, and we are going to have root 3. So at the end, x is equal to 5 root 3. That will be your final answer. Now let's look at question 2. With question 2, you are asked to find AC, and AC happens to be what? Hypotenuse. And the other length given is AB, that is opposite, okay, because it's direct opposite to the angle given. This is 60 degrees, 60 degrees, okay? All right. Now, let's write our tip again. The tip, SOHCAHTOA. Which one is going to fit in? Now we have opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse. We realize that a sine that is having opposite and hypotenuse. So we are going to use sine. So the formula says, or the ratio says, sine theta is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Okay. Now let's do the substitution. Sine 60 is equal to opposite. Our opposite is 6 divided by the hypotenuse, which is x. Right. We do cross multiplication, we get x multiplied by sine 60 is equal to 6. Then we find x by dividing both sides by sine 30. So sine 60. So this by sine 60, this by sine 60 degrees. So we have x to be equal to 6 divided by sine 60 degrees. And we know sine 60 degrees from the table is equal to root 3 divided by 2. So we are going to have root 3 divided by 2. X is equal to 6 divided by root 3 divided by 2. Now, let's try to simplify this. 6 multiplied by 2 divided by root 3. Okay? And this will be equal to 12 divided by root 3. Or we can write our answer as 12 by 1 divided by root 3. Is that okay? So x becomes this value. This is what you need to know. This is why you need to know the special angles. Please take them off head, know them off head. Any question, it can be solved by this tip.